Welcome back to Baseball Enthusiast. My name is Evan O'Brien alongside my good pal Billy Bissell, and we are back with another recap around MLB. Before we get anything started, this is going to be a little quicker episode because I'm going to be in a rush picking up my sister from the airport. But Billy, how are we doing this fine evening?
We're doing good. I just watched pickleball for the first time.
Yeah, they
Pickleball,
show it live, yeah.
I just went to a professional pickleball tournament,
Oh,
and it was a lot of fun. I was cheering on the New Jersey Fives. They won their tournament at Randall's Island, and they are the winningest team in the MLP, Major League Pickleball, and they have the most dominant player in pickleball history on their team too. When you get a chance, look up Annalie Waters. My God.
if you pull something up, we could maybe show something at the end. But yeah.
That's what my weekend was, but I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, my weekend wasn't so good as a fan, but Boston Red Sox swept the Yankees this weekend, finishing off a crazy game. Sonny Gray pretty much pitched a no hitter into the eighth inning, and I gotta say one thing before we get more into this series: the announcers. I don't know if you were tuning in, just kept on saying no hit, no hit, no. Like they just kept on saying the Yankees don't have a hit, the Yankees don't have a hit. It's like so bad. Like either if I were on the opposite end of that, I'm like, bro, I am losing my shit. Like it started off with whoever the play-by-play guy or whatever, main announcer, whatever. He first was like saying it, then the other guy was like, I'm not saying anything. Like whatever he said, like he was refusing to say the words that he uttered.
And that was Sunday Night Baseball. That was
Yeah, this
NBC,
was
right?
on NBC. I don't think it
So
was
that was
ever on NBC. It's usually on ESPN.
well Sunday Night. Well, this season it's the new thing. Sunday Night Baseball is on NBC. That's like their thing.
Yeah.
Jason Benetti is the play-by-play guy, or it's either I'm pretty sure it's Benetti who's been doing it most of the nights. I don't know if it was him this past night, but that's a little different. I feel like there's two streams of thoughts for announcers. One of them is that the announcers don't care. They what I say has no impact on the game. I am just stating a fact. And I think most of them lean that way, but there are a few of them that will mention it, but they'll also give a little bit of a fallback saying, I am just saying the fact that this pitcher has not given up a hit through six and a third inning. For Sonny Gray, what was it? Was it 7 innings, 7 and a third? Did he first give up his first hit?
Yeah, into the eighth. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
So
yeah, my TV was a little bugged out for some reason, but yeah, I missed
that's
that.
crazy. That was like a seven
I
and a
missed the
third
first
innings,
hit, but
and then the Red Sox actually had to put scores in decent amount of actually played well. And then I think it's like every announcer said. Here's one thing I'll give credit to the announcers, and maybe players actually feel this way. Once that ace or that starter gets out of the game that have just been dominating, it's like a little leaguer's on the mound. It doesn't matter who comes into the game out of the pen, it's automatically better. Unless it's some all-star level or outlier reliever that comes in, most of the time it's a huge relief for the team that's getting no hit.
yeah. And before we get more into the whole series itself and the ending that it happened, how much do you believe in the announcer jinx? I feel like it's very you could
It's good.
see it very commonly through football and through basketball, mainly just at free throws or field goals. So there's just those
I
one-on-one
yeah.
silent moments, just
No.
they just gotta make the easy shot or kick, and that happens.
As someone who is trying to work in broadcasting, I don't want to believe in it. However, when I see it pretty often, particularly in basketball with free throws, I think that's the number one thing that it comes up in basketball. I don't feel like there's a lot of jinxes in the NFL. Oh, maybe field goals. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Field goals and PATs. Yeah, those are the ones that get jinxed a lot. It's funny how those are I feel like free throws, maybe they're not, but free throws and point after attempts and field goals are kind of like the same thing in a weird way, but not really. they're both involved just one person at like it's a completely different thing than the sport, right? Than just like the normal action. I don't know if I fully believe in it. I like to think that they're just saying the stats. However, I completely understand. I feel like it always happens, and maybe it doesn't always happen, but a lot of the times it happens when they say that someone is perfect from a certain spot, a certain percentage. It never goes well.
Yeah.
It never goes well. And I feel like we need to look back at the film of other no hitters and perfect games to see what the announcers have said during the entire game.
Yeah. But yeah, like I'll quickly say like field goal kicks, stuff like, oh, this guy's hasn't missed all season, or hasn't like missed at this certain 45 yards and beyond, or whatever. I don't know, simple as that. Crunch time, whatever you want to say, but it goes on and on. I
Do
believe
you
in
agree
it.
with that, or
I believe
you
in
think
it.
like okay? So you think so? What do you
Like
what do
the
you
no
think Nash
hitter
should do?
saying no hitter is a little different. Like I just don't think you should say it. I don't think there's like a jinx to it, but I think you just should not mention it. It's something. It's just an unwritten rule in baseball. One of those unwritten rules.
So if he has no hits, announcer just says, "Man, his stuff is really playing today," or "His stuff looks great today." Like, don't even say anything about the amount of hits. Just don't even say the stats if there's
You
no
could say
hits.
like, well, like 21 batters down in a row, something like that. Like, don't even like say like hit. You could like say something like in the lines of like, oh, he's going strong through 7 innings, or like something like.
Yeah,
You
like
could,
okay.
there's the subtle hints you could say that aren't like saying like, oh, he
Don't
has had
say
no
hits.
hits. Like this guy
Yeah,
doesn't
don't
have
say.
hits, or the other team doesn't have hits. Hasn't allowed a hit. Yeah,
So
but yes,
with the
I
field
mean,
goal one, what do you want him to say though?
they bring up just stats. I feel like that's just bring up stats and stuff, and I feel like oh, they always like mention like a stat at the wrong time, like for a successful kicker, and then they end up missing at that time.
Yeah, I the I feel like in the NFL I've seen more recently that they bring up the PATs and the field goals, and when they say oh his guy doesn't miss from this range, I feel more times than not it goes through, especially with the big like the ones that are really good. Like I remember Brandon Aubrey, they would always bring up this guy's automatic, and he would pull through. You
Yeah.
know. Anyway.
But anyways, now this series with the Red Sox swept the Yankees. How do you have any confidence towards the Red Sox, and do you have any disbelief for the Yankees in the future?
No to both. I have no disbelief in the Yankees going forward, and I don't have any confidence in the Red Sox going forward. I have confidence for the players. Maybe Duran gets going now. Maybe this lights a fire under him. You know, it's always nice to get wins like this in division. Of course, the greatest rivalry in baseball, maybe in sports. It's always a fun back and forth, and sweeping them at home like that's electric. But then again, this team got swept by the Rockies, I'm talking about the Red Sox now,
Yeah.
earlier in the season. So I think they are what they are. And maybe if you go out of like the most recent game, oh, they're a team that can beat the Yankees, one of the best teams in the AL, the best team in the AL right now. Okay. I don't think that means that they're going to go on this historic run. Listen, there's still a lot of baseball left, even though we're at a point where we're almost at the All-Star break. There's still a lot to be played, and, you know, streaks can always happen. I don't believe this means the Red Sox are going to be playing this excellent baseball. And I think what you're going to talk, I feel like you should have a say in this with the Yankees, but I'm going to talk about it first. The Yankees always do this in June.
The June
They always
swing.
do this. They do this crap. I think you mentioned, yeah, I think you
They're
said
at
exactly
500
that
right
last
now
episode.
in June.
Yeah, they always do this. They always do this during June and July for the past at least for the past 5 years. It's probably since the history of time. They always do this weird mediocrity thing in the dog days of summer. But then they usually turn it around late July and August, and they're back to being a playoff team. I'm not worried about the Yankees going forward.
Yeah. But I always feel this is gonna be the Yankees this series, but I always feel like the Red Sox, they know it's a rivalry game, and they play their hearts out. I don't know if the pulse meter there in Fenway is on a rise, but it is there, loud and clear. And the Yankees been struggling, obviously. This series, they did not look the best. And overall, June, they're 500 in June, I believe, right now. But yeah, it feels just like the same thing is happening every year for me watching this team. So like, I'm just hoping that like this just doesn't end the same way. Like same decent second half, just cruising through to the playoffs, and that's it. Having some expectations to win the World Series, and then yeah, that's it. The odds are in their favor every time, but it ends up not like that.
You just got to go through this slide. You just prepare for it. I think now that we've been through June at this point, you're already expecting it. You can take it a little bit easier. Pause.
Yeah. All right, we're going to talk about some fortunate news. The AL or MLB All-Star fan voting and the All-Star finalists. We're going to take a look at first our American League side. Looking at straight up from first base, including second base to outfield, we have Vlad Guerrero and Ben Rice, Bobby Witt Jr. and Andres Jimenez, Kazuma Akamoto and Junior Caminero, Shea Langoliers, Alejandro Kirk, Jordan Alvarez, George Springer, and in the outfield, Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, Byron Buxton, Cody Bellinger, Dalton Varsho, and Jesus Sanchez. First off, before we get anything, Ernie Kmet is the leading vote getter, which is absurd. Not that he made the All-Star, that he's the leading vote getter. I can completely fine with him making the All-Star team. But him getting the automatic first step into the All-Star game is absurd. I believe he has 3 million votes. For a second baseman is absurd, especially Ernie Kmet. And like the difference between him and Duran was absurd.
He got
The same
a
amount
little less than yeah.
pretty much the same amount.
They both got over 3 million. Shohei got 3,341,257. Ernie Clement got 3,232,932. Shout out to Ernie Clement. And you said it. He's a great baseball player. He deserves to be an all-star. He is the one Blue Jay who rightfully deserves, who is actually playing at an all-star level and is the best second baseman in the AL for sure. The best second baseman in the American League. That's fine. We're good with that. We're both agreeing on that, and I think we can all agree with MLB and Toronto. We're talking about the most votes in the American League?
Yeah.
What?
And like, this is obviously a little off topic, but not too much. But Aaron Judge obviously has an injury. Same with Mike Trout, but like Aaron Judge would probably be up there if he wasn't fully injured. He'd be the most votes, hands down. I don't think he probably deserves it, if he was playing slightly below average, but he probably would have gotten it, and still would have been better than most of the people on the Blue Jays that are even showing up in the finalists. I would say like maybe Jordan would have got some good votes, which was an obvious DH. But we look at someone like a George Springer and an Alejandro Kirk, who last time I checked has played like 18 games. Or so, maybe less.
They said no, yeah. They said, I think they said like Springer just got activated, or Kirk rather is just got like they're just now playing baseball now. You know,
like 2.5 weeks ago, Kirk was back in the lineup. Like there's this.
That's messed up because we're taking away from other catchers like another catcher who could have made it. I mean,
Ryan Jeffers, Dingler. Yeah. Like even for DH, you have Canzone for the Mariners who's been doing hot.
Why is George Springer there?
Jimenez, you have Wilson, Jacob Wilson, and you have Kevin McGonigal. First baseman, I was looking at it. I took a screenshot maybe like a few days ago of the stats that they show: average on base, home runs, RBIs, and there was four other people, including Ben Rice, that were better in the stats they provided us on screen for the voting, better than Guerrero. That
He's
was
having a good down
Kurtz.
year.
That was Kurtz. That was. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting. I have the screenshot. Maybe Diaz, if I believe so. I'm not so certain.
A better stats than Guerrero.
Oh, Ronda. Ronda, Wil- Wilson Contreras, Nick Kurtz, and Ben Rice. All had better stats than Guerrero. This was a screenshot this last Thursday of the week.
I'm flabbergasted, man. Listen, I'm always I like to think that I like, I'm a fan of people voting, and especially like Toronto. I know it's an entire country that's voting, and it it's still a big market team, so it's still that's a decent market team. I I hate this so much. I like players getting their flowers that should be I deserve to get their flowers. I'm sorry, George Springer and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. are not worth a all-star an all-star vote, and they're not worth to be a finalist this season. It's a fact. There are much better players right now. I don't get it. Listen, I mean, I guess it's Toronto just hiding high off that World Series appearance last year, and there's a lot of support, which is cool to see, I guess. But
yeah, Canada just realizing the Blue Jays exist.
yeah,
So
that's exactly right. They
and
did. Like, oh my gosh.
Also, the tough thing is discredit. Every manager gets the All-Star game once they make the World Series. Usually, if they accept it. But like, I low-key wished we had someone else to like hopefully just not start a single Blue Jay. Like make the lineup. Like I don't know, like take him out after the first inning.
Yeah, have all like
Nah,
the
it
reserves.
wouldn't happen, but
yeah, just all the reserves be the
it's
ones
so.
that play over them.
Like I was also thinking back to the 2015 Royals.
Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah.
had Hosmer, you had Alex Gordon, you had Lorenzo Cain, Mike Moustakas,
Stackers, yeah.
Perez, Billy Butler.
Yeah.
But
That was a good team, but
they're not.
Yeah.
They're not the 2015 Royals, where you pretty much you had Mike Trout, Altuve, and like Cabrera, were the odd ones out.
bro, these people are gonna be the all like they like you gotta think about it. Think about what the graphic is gonna look like when they go up to the plate, they go up to bat, and they got that lower third, wherever they put the averages and they put their stats.
I'm seeing
you know what-
below
and you-
220, 230 averages.
We're gonna see guys hitting on the Mundo's line. I don't care what you think of batting average. I don't care. Screw it. Look at OPS. Some of these guys' OPS are below 700. That is insane.
Well,
I don't understand why so many Blue Jays players are getting voted in. I'm looking outside looking at it, I really don't care too much about how it'll look for the All-Star. I know I just made that rant, but like about how the stats. But come on, like it was so nice seeing like in the All-Star games when you had guys hitting over 300. I know that's a lost thing now, but even like homers and like if you want to talk about slugging, you want to talk about OPS, like RBIs, they're not even that. They're not high in those categories either. So it's not even like their averages are like. They're even like a 250 or 260 hitter. They're 230 at the highest. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Blue Jays fans have had their votes like mattered and shown that they can vote their teams like to making it high up on the list. But this year has been truly hands down the worst it's been. Simply just because of their World Series appearance. It's simply that's the only reason why this has to be like this. And we'll talk
It
about the
is.
NL with certain teams constantly voting their players in, which is fine. But
Okamoto
Outfield.
is like like looking at Okamoto real quick, third baseman. Like he has 19 homers. Nice. No, 19 homers right now. I mean, he's got
I,
108 strikeouts, and he's hitting 238. Like his OPS is not is solid 784. Then these other hitters, Andres Jimenez, I love him. I love him. Like
what,
the
batting
Met.
215?
Andres Jimenez isn't that low. He's 242. It's
Oh.
like it's not, you know, it's not horrible. He's a second, whatever. He's playing good shortstop, I guess. 7 homers. His on base percentage is 286. So he's not even getting on base that much. He's not drawing a lot of walks. Ernie Clement's the only one. Or Ernie Clement makes sense. Sure.
Yeah.
I'll give Ernie Clement his flowers.
Quickly looking at the outfield, I haven't looked at his stats recently, but Jesus Sanchez isn't the worst person on the list for the Blue Jays. That's the thing.
Varsho?
No, Jesus Sanchez.
Oh, okay.
His stats aren't the worst when you look at it. Like, I don't think he should be a top 6, but I think he's still like solid numbers for like the outfield for the AL side. The NL side is crazy from top to bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, his stats aren't bad, and
Yeah.
it's not crazy for him to be a finalist.
Yeah, but we're missing a Riley Green. We're missing, even though I believe both of them are injured, Rosarena and Rodriguez. Those two guys have been having some solid year. And the AL's outfield compared to NL is hands down like completely different this
I
year.
don't know how they don't even get votes, those guys. I don't know how they don't get, like, that. I'm sure they got votes.
They're batting
but
like plus at least
how's it not close?
780. Or, I mean, batting 280, not 780.
But it's not even close. Like, the votes aren't close enough to get him to be a finalist, to be in the running. I don't understand. I know we talked about it, like when the first dropped, the updates first dropped, and yeah, now it's terrible.
Yeah, and here we go with the All-Star finalists for the National League. It's a lot of Dodgers, Braves, Phillies, of course, as expected.
By the way, that's all it is besides Juan Soto.
And CJ Abrams.
Yeah, there you go. You're right. It's
Yeah. So we'll quickly go through this. First base for the NL, I think same with the American League, has been pretty good. There's other players I do think are well deserving. I think Olsen should be over Freeman right now. And you have Jake Bowers and Alex Burleson of the Brewers and Cardinals. Not that high of a market. Not the fan bases aren't going out and voting as much. Those players deserve at least a shot.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I feel like these two between Freeman and Olsen are simply just
The no names.
The no names at first. They're always going to be in the running. I mean, the fact that they're the finalists right now, I'm with you. I feel like there might be more deserving people year to year, at least at this very moment. It's so weird because when we think of an all-star, like maybe the guys that we talked about before will start to teeter off a little bit. You know that Freddie Freeman and Matt Olson, and I think Matt Olson definitely should be a finalist, without a doubt. And Freddie Freeman is having good years. Like I don't have a problem with them particularly. And at the end of the season, like their stats are going to be like pretty much all-star level stats. But I think compared to other first basemen, I think you got to give them their flowers. These guys are going to be Hall of Famers. These guys have already a lot of all-stars and have had better seasons too. So I think not giving them an all-star is completely valid right now. The all-star game's up to this point, during like this halfway point of the year, so why not give it to someone else who is just playing better halfway through, even though at the end of the season, Matt Olson and Freddie Freeman will probably be at least in the top 5 in NL first baseman.
Yeah. And now we look over to the second baseman, Ozzie Albies and Byron Scott. Byron Scott, no shot in hell should be touching an all-star field.
No.
All-star game. Albies, the second base isn't the best over there, but Albies is still worthy of at least like a finalist appearance. There still is no love, I believe, for Xavier Edwards and even like a Luis Ariz who's still doing this
Nothing.
thing.
These are the. I mean, I guess these are the teams that are playing well as too. Like the Marlins are not last in the NL East because my Mets are holding that spot firm and they'll stay there where they deserve to be. So and the Giants also stink and it's a dumpster fire over there right now. So I maybe that could be part of it. Like these are all the besides Soto and the Nationals are a fun team. They're one of the best offenses in baseball.
Mhm.
But these are all the better teams right now. It's weird saying that for the Phillies, but that's how hot they've been since putting Mattingly in. Maybe something to do with it. So a little bit of bias to how good these teams are playing.
Yeah. And going with shortstop, C.J. Abrams, well deserved. I'm glad
So
people
happy.
were giving votes. It was so deserved. Well, he's got like 55 RBIs, batting right below 300, and
Yeah.
on base is probably like a 900 or
It,
800.
it's about time, man. Like he's always been an electric player, and I feel like there's been times he just hasn't quite put it together. Like he just hasn't been as consistent as he can be. And the fact that he's doing this now, he's batting 275, 358 on base percentage. His OPS is 865 from the shortstop position. 17 homers. You see Andres Jimenez? That's a shortstop. That's a shortstop who has a solid glove, not too bad. Like Jimenez, maybe he's got 3 Gold Gloves, so he's a great defender. But Abrams is an electric player, really really good player. He's got some stolen bases. He's got 13 stolen bases too. Like he can get close to 30. Like the guy's an excellent ball player, and I'm really happy he's getting his flowers.
Yeah, and then you have Mookie Betts. They're showing up there. 236, 737 on base percentage when you have, like I said, well, not said, Otto Lopez, even an injured Ellie should get some votes. Perdomo, Adames. This goes on a little bit there. Even Bichette, who, I don't know if you're confident in him
I
getting,
over. I
getting some
mean,
votes.
I don't
He
think I'd give him votes over Mookie. I don't know if I would, but
you'd still want Mookie as a finalist.
no, it's not like I. No, well, to answer that, no, I don't want Mookie as a finalist. I don't know over Bichette maybe. Over
Okay.
Bichette maybe. I don't. I would rather Xander. I would not Xander. I would rather Otto Lopez over Mookie Betts. I'd almost rather Connor Griffin over him. Like, put Ellie over him. Like I would not want. No, I don't want Mookie Betts to be a finalist. It's another guy. He's in the case of the name. The best team
Yeah.
in baseball right now.
Yeah. Now we have the third base position for the NL. Max Muncy, solid, just solid. Uh, just like prior with teams, Pittsburgh Pirate Nick Gonzalez is not getting the votes, and you have someone like Alec Bohm making an appearance, batting 225, 637 on base percentage, slung at
I
350, 356.
just doesn't make any sense to me, man. Like I whatever. You got
I
all of
said this.
Canada voting for him, man. But
Yeah, like I said this before when we made our uh, choices for All Stars 2 or 3 weeks ago.
yeah,
And for the Phillies representative, your only Phillies representative should be Brendan Marsh and potentially Christopher Sanchez on the bum.
you don't think Harper should be an All Star?
No,
Harper over Freddie Freeman. I think that's close. I think that's pretty close. I don't know if I put him over Matt Olson, but I think that's closer.
uh, no, I'd still put a Freddie Freeman over a Harper right now this year.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's the only other guy I would consider. I agree with what
It's
you
very
said.
it's very close though. It's not, yeah. Just looking at stats on alone.
I think I'd give Harper the benefit of the doubt over Freddie Freeman because he's playing in Philly. Because it's in Philly. So this is a rare territory for me to give any sort of flowers to Phillies players, but I think I would rather see Bryce Harper starting or in the All-Star game as opposed to a Freddie Freeman. Then because they're gonna always have the Dodgers there anyway. Like, that's my thoughts at least. Just so you
Yeah,
can also be in the home run
I feel
derby.
like the third base position has a lot of some washed up talent when you look at it too. Right now, looking at a Matt Chapman, Arenado, Bregman, not doing so hot for
Yeah,
their stats right now.
yeah. Well, probably Arnett probably should have got in. Should be a higher consideration
Yeah,
than Alec Boehm.
yep, all well deserving of that.
You know.
Yeah. And now we move on to a lot of misses in the outfield. Even though it's a loaded outfield for the NL this year, I feel like a lot of people deserve it, and there's just little room to give for the teams. But you have a lot of misses for James Wood and Jordan Walker this year.
I think you do
And then
easily.
Teoscar Hernandez possibly should not be up here.
Yeah,
Has had a great start. He had 50 RBIs. That's absurd. So I'd give him that. Because
I think.
he had a hot start and like he was getting the votes early on, so I was
Who
voting
do
for
you?
him.
Okay, you said okay. So you said those two. Who do you think should be taken out?
Acuna, obviously, I think I don't know, even before him getting injured, I don't think he deserved getting votes. So I'd take Acuna, I'd take a Teoscar Hernandez out there, uh, and I'd probably be. I think Marsh is going to start no matter what this year, so I'll give Marsh the starting role. I would have gave Soto, and I probably would have gave Jordan Walker or James Wood.
I
And then
actually.
you have
Yeah.
other people like PCA. You have other people like Jackson Churio, uh, Corbin Carroll, another one. The list goes on as just like incredible outfield play in the NL. Just, just the Phillies, Braves and Dodgers. It sucks.
I would 100% agree with you on the players that get taken out, Acuna and Hernandez, and you just slide in
A lot
definitely
of
Jordan
people.
Walker. I would say I think Jordan Walker for sure, and yeah, definitely Jordan Walker. And then who else did you just as the other two? Who was the other? Oh, and James Wood. Yeah, James Wood for sure. I would put them both in there, 1,000%. Or if you want to put in Corbin Carroll, just to diversify more of the National League, I would do that. I wouldn't be mad at that either. I would definitely take out those two. I would 100% agree with taking out Acuna and Hernandez. I think Soto actually has been I think Soto's been playing at an all-star level, and he hasn't even played as many games as a lot of these guys. He hasn't played the whole season. He's been hurt, but in the games that he's played, he's been an all-star level outfielder. I think that I'm actually very happy he's a finalist up here. He deserves to be, but I don't think Acuna and Hernandez should be a finalist. Give it
Yeah, I
to
wasn't
Wood.
voting
Give it
like
to Walker.
every day, but slowly there is slow changes in my voting, and Juan Soto was one of them. There's other people I probably could mention, not right off the top of my head, but like for me as a Yankees fan, there's three people I voted probably around the whole time the voting was open. It was Aaron Judge, Ben Rice, and Cody Bellinger. Later, I stopped voting for Aaron Judge because he got hurt. Didn't matter, so I just kept on voting for Rice and Bellinger. That's the year. I don't know how your voting is.
Yeah,
Did you, as a
I
Mets
100%
fan?
agree. Soto would be my consistent guy, and I'll push the Carson Bench propaganda all season. Like that's Carson Bench. Carson
Yeah.
Bench has been one of the 20 best hitters in baseball since May 1st. That's a fact. He's batting over I think at least 310, and he had a homer the other night. The other day, he's been very good in the past few months. He got off to a really tough start at the beginning of the season,
Yeah.
but otherwise it's just Juan Soto. There's no one else. There's no one else on the Mets that I would feel comfortable with representing us. Bichette's been playing better, but it's like him and Springer. It's like they're doing the same thing. Bichette's been playing better than Springer, I would say, but Bichette's Springer's a finalist. Yeah, Soto's been the really only consistent guy for me for the Mets. But I agree with you too that Bellinger and Rice should be definite All-Stars, and I'm happy that Ben Rice is up there. But like Belly has been one of the most important players to the Yankees roster this entire season. He's been raking. Man, and like now that Judge is out, you need someone in the middle of the order to step up. And Bellinger has done exactly that. He's been an All-Star, and he's kind of, what did you say? He's back to his old self or whatever. He's playing really well, and the Yankees need him.
Yeah, I don't think we touched up on the catcher. Drake Baldwin deserves. Will Smith, no.
No.
You have, I'd say, Mr. Consistency in William Contreras, batting 301, slugging at a 432 and on base at a 796. You have a Hunter Goodman. I think right behind Schwarber in home runs, I believe, if so.
Yeah.
All positions, but he has 25 home runs at the catcher position right now.
It's crazy.
Batting at 242, slugging at 843.
That's impressive. That's catcher.
On base at 843, slugging at 535. My bad. But still, Hunter Goodman, Liam Hicks, William Contreras over Will Smith.
This is fully the
And like
the Dodgers
same with him, like he's hurt, right? You have Dalton Rushing right now as your catcher down in LA.
Yeah. Now it's
Yeah,
popular contest.
Like looking at my last screenshot of a voting, I'll go straight to the American League, then the NL. Dingler, Rice, Duran, Caminero, McGonigal, Alvarez, Bellinger, Buxton, Green. And my right side's a little, besides maybe like two people, but Baldwin, Burleson, Edwards, Gonzalez, Abrams, Schmidt, Marsh, Soto, and Walker.
Listen, you're giving love to the people that deserve to get it.
Yeah, I'm giving love to Casey Schmidt, who probably wasn't going to get it anyways. Maybe he could be in the backup, but behind a Schwarber or Herrera, but I feel like he should have some love out there in San Fran. But how could fan voting be changed? Because clearly teams are getting out there.
I don't know if.
Maybe next year we gotta start a campaign or something. We gotta start the word, spread the word early and spread the word early on players.
But it has to be built up before this. Forget about because the teams need more recognition. Maybe they'll show this in the CBA negotiations, because you look at all these teams. These are all the bigger market teams, right? These are all the guys that spend money.
But it's the big names that are on this list that don't deserve it.
Exactly.
Or the big names or big teams, and it's like
that's my point.
I don't know what there are obviously people out there that just strictly just pick their players 1 through 9 and just give it. That's it, which I think is just ridiculous. I feel like I'm very unbiased when it comes to voting, unless it's very close to one of my players having a shot, and I'll probably pick them. But other than that, some of these players have no. Yeah.
It's not close. It's not close for a lot of these players, so it doesn't make sense for them to do that bias. Because I'm with you. I think it's fair to do that. Oh, their stats are pretty close to each other. Well, I'm a fan of this team, and I want to see him in the All-Star game. It's fine to do that. It makes no sense for a guy like George Springer, even Will Smith, because now let's talk about the NL, to put them in, because they don't have close to the stats of some of these other NL guys. Ronald Acuna Jr. as well. He has the name. That's it. He's a great baseball player, but he's hurt. He actually wasn't even playing well before that. So he's been banged up. He wasn't playing great. It's strictly off the name. And I think this is what baseball is maybe talking about with the collective bargaining. Like these are all the teams that spend the most. These are all the teams with the high, like maybe the densest populations, the more denser populations, the bigger brand names. Maybe it's on the teams to be better at doing that and marketing themselves. Maybe that's part of it. But we need to give flowers to everyone that deserves to be in here, because all-star voting across all leagues is scuffed. It's never been good, and it just is not good.
Yeah. I really want to just like show like a side by on a Baseball Reference when you compare players, just a side by side blank photo, but show the stats and then ask random people, who would you pick?
I
Simple as
guarantee you.
How
I
simple is that?
guarantee you people would pick the better stats. There's no way they don't.
Like, it's not even just the players that are, yeah, no, it is the players that are showing up here, but it's
Do
whatever.
it.
I will.
Maybe that's what voting should be. It should just be. It should just be.
Don't show the names. Don't show the
names.
Just show the stats. That'd
Just
be
show the
so
stats.
good. Oh,
Just so they should maybe
and
two
that's all I'm
votings.
looking. That's all I'm looking at, the stats.
Me too. Because like baseball is one of those sports where, like with basketball and the NFL particularly, if you look at the film, you could see like little tendencies. Oh, these guys deserve to be better than what they're actually represented as. They mean more to their team. They impact the game more.
Yeah, basketball's very clear.
Yeah, basketball is very like, oh,
Yeah.
like this role player or like this
You know
guy,
who's
like
good.
you know who's good. You can kind of see it but like with watching the game. I'm saying baseball is
Yeah.
tough to watch the game because there's a lot of games that happen. It's 162 games. You
Yeah.
know, it's a lot going on, and this is for every sport, right? The NFL is a lot more of a microscope, so you can get to see everything. So whatever, that's one thing. With baseball, the stats that these guys put up. Sure, you could talk about the advanced analytics with this and like, are they really that good, whatever. No, bro, the stats that are there are like, that's how they're playing right now. I know that they are better players. the Freddie Freemans, the Mookie Betts, they are better, and their careers are excellent. And sure, are they always gonna be like all-star or Hall of Fame players as a whole, as a baseball player? Yes, so they'll always be good. That doesn't mean they should be an all-star. That doesn't mean they have to be an all-star in that exact year. Just the stats don't lie, especially in baseball when comparing other guys. If you want to talk about what they mean in the clubhouse and what their impact is in their presence in the box, their presence on the mound, what they do in the field, okay, I get that part, but those are a lot tougher to analyze because there's so many games, a lot of teams play. You have to just look at the stats. And the defense part is tough. I get that. The stats for defense are always a little wonky. And so if you're putting someone in like a Jimenez, I'm thinking about, who's just a really good defender, okay, I guess. But there's shortstops in the AL whose defense isn't that much further than Andres Jimenez, and whose hitting stats sure as hell are better. Look at the stats. The stats in baseball don't lie that much. I know you can't just look at it to tell the whole story, but when you're doing voting, and I'm telling you the average fan is not watching every single game, we're barely watching every single game, just look at the stats. And the stats definitely back up some other players that are not finalists.
That was beautifully said. Round of applause to that. Well, enough. Let's get away from this horrendousness of All-Star finalists.
Yeah.
Well, let's just talk about some key matchups for this upcoming week. Starting off, I keep on mentioning them just because how like the NL Central has been. It's the Pirates and the Phillies. They have a 4-game set starting today to Thursday. The Phillies swept a 3-game series at PNC Park from May 15th to the 17th, racing a 8-1 deficit in the first game to win in extra innings. And the Phillies, man, recently they find a way to win. You just probably saw recently how they took care of the Nationals, but the late heroics by Harper and the rest of the squad has been absurd. And one of the key players to watch out for, I will mention Philly as well, but Brian Reynolds, and I will also say a Bryce Harper right now.
Like the Phillies, they are staying. Like, will the Phillies stay hot? I mean, shoot, they have been, right? I think it is valid to keep giving attention to the NL Central because damn sure other fans aren't. Sorry, don't want to delve back into that, but yeah, I think it is important. I guess I feel it is important to talk about the Pirates a lot. Like, they're a team that I feel like we want the answer to see if, like, oh, is this actually a playoff team? And Phillies are they have the same core. This core has been to the playoffs. Whether or not they will get to the playoffs is another story. But they're playing like a playoff team right now. This is a potential playoff matchup. This will be a lot of fun. I think it's a great game to highlight. And the Phillies sure as hell dominated my Mets. But who isn't dominating my Mets at this point? Yeah. So this is a good matchup to look ahead to.
Yeah. I believe both Christopher Sanchez and Zach Wheeler will be slated to pitch on Tuesday and a Wednesday. And Wheeler's opposing pitcher will be Paul Skeen. So that's a key matchup right there.
Very fun. Very fun.
And Brian Reynolds, the veteran, 17-game hitting streak right now, just ended on Sunday, but he's been scorching hot this June, batting 308, 949 on base percentage of this month. And season numbers with a 286, 402, 472, 11 home runs, 52 RBIs.
Yeah, man. Really good hitting. The Pirates are hitting. The Pirates are hitting out really well right now. Connor Griffin has cooled off a lot, but he's still really good for them. But it's funny. They're hitting, but whenever that guy Paul Skeens gets on the bump, they don't hit for him. he does not get run support. He's just Jacob deGrom treatment.
I was just going to say that. He's a little more of a Jacob deGrom. It's tough.
Sad. It's absolutely sad. Wins and losses don't matter, folks.
Yeah.
There you go. If you want to stat the lies about a real pitcher, that's a stat.
Yeah. As our next key matchup, we have the Padres and the Cubs. They began a 3-game set today to Wednesday, and the Cubs and Pirates met 3 games at Petco Park from April 27th to 29th. After San Diego won the opener at home, Chicago won the next 2 at the home series win, including a 5-4 victory in the finale. Padres and Cubs notably matched up in a thrilling NLCS series in 2025. Low-scoring effort, but both teams are playing well heading this series on the north side, with the Padres coming off a recent sweep of the Braves and the Cubs pulling off a 4-game sweep of the Mets. And one of the key players to watch out for, we kind of mentioned him for the All-Star, is Pete Crow Armstrong. And he's been tearing up, just like last week I mentioned him before, still killing it out there.
I loved on the broadcast in the Mets series against the Cubs when PCA was rounding the bases to score a run. Keith Hernandez goes, worst trade in Mets history. Watching him round the bases. He's a real appreciator for good base running. So seeing Pete Crow Armstrong cut every corner of the bag so elegantly was a joy. As a baseball fan, I'm sure you would love it too. Even Keith is like, listen, and that's the issue when you get with trading prospects. They could turn into that, and that's my always horror when trading prospects, is that they could turn into a Pete Crow Armstrong. But it is a kind of a 1 in a million that it happens like this. Anyway, yeah, the Cubs maybe get back on the horse just a little bit. That's all you need. That's what it looks like. Just play the Mets. If you need to get back in the win column, if you need to hit your stride, play the Mets. They'll give you a little confidence boost. You'll have Dansby Swanson hitting bombs. Not Swanson, I'm sorry. You'll have guys hitting bombs, who shouldn't be hitting homers. It's great, You just get back. If you're in a funk and you got the Mets, you should be celebrating. That's a free win. At the very least, you get to pad some stats.
Yeah. Since June began for PCA, he's been batting .367 with 10 home runs, 8 stolen bases, and a .765 slugging percentage. Before this season, he has more than doubled his walk rate from 2025 with a 4.6 percentage to this year's 9.9% walk rate.
Yeah, man. Electric baseball player. All it took was that fan in the White Sox series.
Yeah, I think Durant has to take note a little bit.
Just gets fired up a little bit.
He gets fired up. He does well, but not at the level of PCA. Because Durant does have the power. He does have the speed. He's just not doing it both.
Maybe that last game could get him back in it.
Yeah. Our next key matchup, surprising one, is going to be the Dodgers and the Athletics, a 3-game set that starts Monday to Wednesday. The series is a long matchup between these two interleague rivals in 2026. Last season, the Dodgers won 2 of the 3 against the A's in LA, including a 19-2 win in the series finale. And the one thing in question is, are the A's truly contenders in the AL West? They're only 2 games out of the division lead after Sunday's 4-1 loss to the Angels, so they're not far-fetched. And the A's haven't played the best baseball in the West. Sacramento this season, but last year they've captured home series wins over the Blue Jays, Mariners, Tigers, Reds, Astros from July on, and this year not so much so far in the early stages. But one of the key persons to watch out for is a Mookie Betts. I know we kind of discredited him early on, but having a subpar first half of the year, Betts is heating up. The shortstop has an on base as a low of a 632 through June 16th, but is 15 for 41 with 4 home runs and a 1.129 on base in the past 10 games.
I think, like, man, like, it's a team for the talking about the A's now. I remember they were, once upon a time they were the leaders in their division, right? But we kind of all saw that, like, not being long term. It's important, like, it's a nice West Coast game series. It's it's another. It's like it reminds me of like not the inverse, but it's like a piracy type of thing. Like, okay, is this team really going to be a competitive baseball team? You got to go up against the best team in the NL, just to test that. I think there are guys who've been struggling. We still haven't seen it yet from Brent Rooker. He's hurt right now, but even before that, he's still, he wasn't playing well. Maybe he just needed the IL stint to get him right or something. Maybe he just needed a bit of some time away. Yeah, I'm excited to see what the A's can do in this series, but the Dodgers are a machine. It'll be tough. So I think it'll be a good test for the A's for sure. Even though it's a series that means nothing. It doesn't mean a lot because it's interleague play, so you don't really see the team in the playoffs. But at least it gets you to test what you're going to be like against some of the league's best.
Yeah, like for the last few years, I've kind of been high on the Athletics. Like, yeah, they're right now batting, or their win-loss is 40-44, and they're 4th in the AL West right now, and it's not looking good, but the whole American League is terrible.
Whole American League is not looking good.
There are, let's see, as of right now, there's still 5 teams either at or above 500. And I believe if it's still the same for the NL, I believe there's 11 teams at or above 500.
The A's are 2 games back from first place right now. Okay. Texas in first at a record of 42-42. They could be in first after the series. You know what I mean? Like it could change just like that. So like it's a tight, like, I'll say more on the glass half full side. It's a tight division. It's a competitive division. Now, is it competitive because they're all bad? Maybe it's one thing, but it's nonetheless a competitive division. Things could change in just one series. So a lot of baseball left to be played, and we'll see if the A's can start playing pretty good.
As for our next series, we have the Rays versus the Astros, a 3-game set beginning Friday. This is the first series of the year between these two AL foes, who will be also meet from September 11th to 13th at Tropicana Field. In 2025, the Rays went 4-3 against the Astros, taking 2 of the 3 at the Trop and splitting a 4-game set at Daikin Park in Houston. But can the Astros keep turning things around? Houston is 9-3 in the past 12 games and sits just 1 game behind the Rangers in a wide-open AL West despite a poor start to the year. The Astros are getting healthier. Closer Josh Hader, who I'll mention later, is back. Hunter Brown off the injured list, and stars Lance McCullers and Christian Javier soon to follow. But the main guy to watch out for down in Tampa Bay is Junior Caminero, who is a home run surge. On Sunday, the Rays third baseman went yard again. He's given 6 home runs in the past 4 games, 7 in the past 6. So he has 7 this week. And like I said, Josh Hader and Caminero will be mentioned later on by me. So
Dude's
dark
playing
horse
good
MVP,
baseball right now.
dark horse MVP candidate Junior Caminero
Yeah.
could be.
The Astros, man, I remember listening to a couple like a couple weeks ago to Foul Territory about some of the guys writing off the Astros, and I think one of the hosts are saying that listen, it's a really close division. So if they could just tread water, and I know they're not really treading, they weren't treading water then. Now they're more than definitely treading water. I mean, 9-3 in your past 12 games is very impressive. You get healthier now. Maybe the bats start clicking a little bit more too. I mean, Alvarez is going to might win the Triple Crown, so we know what he's going to bring. But it's more about the rest of the guys playing better. Now, like you mentioned before, Hunter Brown, Lance McCullers, Christian Javier coming back soon. Like, things could turn around, and they're a team that can win. The team that have been there before. They know how to win, and they know what it's like to play in this long season. So I think they got some good players. It's a tight division, so that it's really up for grabs. We don't know if Texas is going to finish out this strong. I think maybe this is the way. This is a good test. It's another good test for them to see if they can really compete with the top teams.
Yeah, both these teams kind of like proving they are truly their teams, or see if they can make a push. So this one's a good watch. In our next watch, Blue Jays versus the Mariners. They start 3-game set on Friday. These two teams have yet to face off in 2026 since their playoff matchup, and since then. But in the 2025 regular season, the Mariners won 2 of 3 in April at the Rogers Center, but were swept in a 3-game set in May at T-Mobile Park. The Blue Jays are 39, 45, and third in the AL East, while the Mariners are in second in AL West at 42 and 43. And will this series be a turning point for either team? As we do have an interesting watch out for, just came off the IL, back on the roster, Shane Bieber.
I'm glad you mentioned Shane Bieber, a Blue Jay, after we destroyed the Blue Jays earlier in this episode. Give him some flowers. It is I saw a quick video of there was some potential tension between Alejandro Kirk and I think it was Vladdy or someone else, but blowing him off as he was walking back to the dugout after he got their home run thing. He didn't give him any attention. I don't know what that is. Potential clubhouse drama. God knows that. I know a lot about that stuff being a Mets fan. I think Seattle is one of those teams that we felt when another AL West team that would be a little bit more competitive, and they still have good players that are in the mix. But it's a good time for the Blue Jays to maybe try and get back to some sort of relevancy. They've really been struggling since they had that World Series hangover. So maybe it just took them a couple months, which is. I don't really want to say that lightly because a couple months is a long time. But maybe it just took them a couple months just to get going. Head into the All-Star break after that hangover. Maybe you start to feel a little bit better now, and the players start to feel like themselves. I know George Springer, who we still feel like shouldn't be an All-Star, has been hitting a lot better. I think he's over 750 in OPS in the month of June, so that's a good sign for their roster. Should be a good series ahead. I like this matchup a lot.
Yeah, Shane Bieber, and it's just his second start on Sunday against the Rangers. It was an improvement as he just went 2 runs in 5 1/3 innings, striking out 4 to surpass his 1,000 K threshold. Another stretch though that happened earlier we didn't talk about was Sonny Gray at 2,000. But yeah, lineup against the Mariners. The 2020 Cy Young winner has a career 3.27 ERA in 9 seasons.
Can't wait for Bieber to see Bieber on the bump. Bieber was so good.
I miss
the Guardians, man.
Indians.
When he, yeah, because That's true. He was more the Indian. Yeah, he missed the Guardians? He wasn't
Yeah,
ever.
no, yeah. He was just. I
Are
would
you
say so.
sure?
I
Really? It
think,
was.
yeah. Was this the second year now of Guardians Ball?
Is it
Or
really only 2 years?
two or 3 years now. Guard Ball. I think it was just last year.
No.
It was a full year.
What?
At least a full year.
Oh my gosh!
Is
Wow.
it three
Okay.
years? Search it up for me. Well, like,
I'm looking it up. How long have they? I thought it's been longer than that.
I think
I
it's
feel
been
like I've
three.
been able to. How long have they been have the Cleveland? Okay. The Guardians, the most recent adoption. Yeah, 3. It's 4. This is their 4th season. 2022 was their first season. Prior to the 2022 season. So it was 2022, and then now this is year 4. Okay. But Bieber, but Bieber, I feel like Bieber had a couple years when he was, with the Guardians.
Yeah,
He's-
he had. Yeah, he was there 20. So, what year to start? 2023?
22.
22.
22.
Oh, yeah, I guess he did.
Yeah, he had one of the best seasons there. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, but his best year. Ugh. I hate to see that, but his best year was the COVID year. Where he won Cy Young. But the year before, he was really good too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had years, and he had one good year was a Guardian, and a good year, and a couple good years when he was with the Indians. Anyway, Shane Bieber, finally get to see him back, man. When he's on, he's
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. And we're going to get on to our weekly players of the week. I'll start off with the batters of the American League. Like we just mentioned, like I just said before, Junior Caminero this week is batting .423, 7 home runs, 8 runs scored, and 15 driven in with 4 walks in this week. Absurd. He should be the starter, hands down, for the AL All-Star game. And he's going to be a dark horse. The AL is struggling, so there's plenty of opportunity for someone like him to make a name for himself moving forward. So, shout out to him. He'll be my AL hitter of the week.
I'm going to be short and sweet with my guys. My guy, I'm going to start with Luis Garcia Jr., who in 6 games has 6 home runs. Not a lot else you could say about that. 9 ribbies in this week as well. A part of one of the best offenses in baseball. He hit also 526 in this week. That goes for the best average amongst hitters in this past week. So he's been raking. Seemed like another guy, like another day, another guy for the Nationals is hitting really well. Shout out to Luis Garcia Jr. for 6 homers in 6 games. That's insane. And then I'll go for on the pitchers. I'll go another NL East guy. We're gonna go with Foster Griffin, who's I think I mentioned him once before already. I can't remember. I feel like I've definitely mentioned his name before, but he's been excellent for the Nationals in 2 games. He's gone 14 in the 3rd innings. And Evan, like we said, and like I said before, I love to see innings guys. However, I do want to give Robbie Ray some flowers. Just looking at it, in 2 starts, the man has gone 16 innings. Shout out to Robbie Ray, man. Who, I mean, my gosh, talk about another guy who in 2020, 2021 was like one of the better pitchers in baseball. Kind of fell off a little bit, got a big contract, and then didn't really do a lot. But I'm giving my flowers to Robbie Ray and Foster Griffin, 2 really good pitchers this past week, eating up a lot of innings, and that's true ace stuff from these guys.
Gotcha. As for my pitcher of the week for the AL, we mentioned him before. I mentioned all these guys now, at least once before we're getting into this. Sonny Gray, yeah. In this week, besides that outing against the Yankees, he had a total of 14 and 1/3 innings pitched, 7 hits allowed, 1 earned run, 4 walks, and 20 Ks. So he was lighting up the strike zone a lot against the Yankees. He was doing it before earlier in the week as well, with 20 punchies. Absurd. And
2,000 career strikeouts too. 2,000 career strikeouts is incredible. Sonny Gray's been playing for a long
for
time.
someone like him who's just kind of snuck on there, just being a solid person on the 5 days, just getting the start and been a workhorse.
Yeah.
Now for my reliever of the AL. Just got off the IL, Josh Hader, in his 4 innings of work. 0 hits allowed, 0 runs, 4 walks, 6 Ks, and 2 saves. So, shout out to him. Someone the Astros are well pleased to have back in their starting 40-man roster. Or on the roster, but back up in the bigs.
Astros getting healthier, like we said. For me, my relief pitcher of the week is another NL East guy, Michael Peterson. Michael Peterson, in 3 appearances in relief work, he went 2 2/3 innings pitched, gave up only a couple hits, had 5 strikeouts though in that many innings. Really good stuff from him. He was actually struck out the side in one of his innings pitched against Texas. Always a pretty solid offense. Always a pretty good out. Probably gonna get traded because Miami is probably most likely gonna be selling. Even though they have some young guys right now, so maybe you want to capitalize off that. We'll see where Sandy goes. If he's gonna be going, who knows? But yeah, shout out to Michael Peterson. Shout out to Miami. Not a lot else going on for the Marlins on the pitching department. Of course, Xavier Edwards, Otto Lopez snubbed, but we talked about that already. Shout out to the Marlins.
Yeah, we'll probably talk more about. I think next week I want to talk about more the buyers and sellers for this upcoming trade deadline. We're so close to the All-Star break, so that'll be future talks and possibly just quick little power rankings. We'll probably go back and forth on who we think we have for our power rankings leading up at this halfway point. But I think that was pretty much the day of or the day after. I always find like something right after we record or something funny or something interesting in the baseball world, and it is this little skit or commercial by Paul Skeens himself.
I don't know if I've seen this. I know I haven't seen this now.
The estimated ROI of fried cheese products. Figures we have here, are these national figures or regional figures?
These are national, but we do have the regional breakdown. If we could just circle back on the cheese quotient.
Hey, I got it. I'm sorry to interrupt, except I'm not. This is important. We need to talk about hot dogs.
But this is a finance meeting.
Perfect. This is going to make you a lot of money. I'll keep this brief. My name is Paul Skeens. I love hot dogs almost as much as I love winning. But there's a problem with normal hot dogs. They're weak. They're pathetic. They lack aura.
What's aura?
I think it's like Riz.
What's Riz?
I have data. 73% say normal hot dogs are mid. 91% want their food to go crazy. Plus, it looks genuinely insane in my hands. Look at this. It has no dog in it.
It does feel dogless.
Completely dogless, Kevin.
My name's not.
It's just math, people. A normal dog isn't big enough for this big dog. Science doesn't lie. So I crunch the numbers. And we need more glizz. Behold, the big glizzy. I know, right? A big dog topped with whatever the sheets you want. It has aura.
It's full of dog.
Kevin gets it. I invented this because the laws of big dogs doing big things demanded it. Look under your seats. Don't just trust me on the data. Ingest the data. Have your guys call my guys. We'll circle back. Love you guys.
It's so Gen Z. Or what's after Gen Z?
Gen Alpha? I think it's Gen Z. I think it's Gen Z. It's
a little. Yeah, I guess
maybe
so.
He's a little young. I think it might be a touch young for us, maybe, which is crazy.
Some of the stuff that said the words.
Bro, I gotta say, shout out to Paul Skeens. I actually think he was very funny. I think Paul Skeens was very funny. Like
Is
he
it
was
because of
very
his voice? His like
Yeah,
like
he's monotone. But I think
monotone.
usually, but I think they're like I've seen like NBA players or other athletes say that really dry, like monotone presentation-y voice.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. But
Sometimes
he's
it does
got
work.
no, no. But he's got. I could see he's got a little. It does a little bit of personality in there. There absolutely is.
Paul
I
Skeens'
actually
personality. Wow.
yes, yes. No, he could crack some jokes. That was very good. I like that.
Yeah. Shout out to Sheets, man, the sponsor for that video. Wow,
So are they a hot dog? Let me see.
they they run with Nathan's, I believe. Am I wrong?
It's. Oh no, it's a like. It's. Oh my gosh! Whoa! It's a fast food place.
Oh.
Wow, they got some crazy food, by the way, and they just added the Big Glizzy as a new menu item.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's okay. That's good. I'm looking at the website. They got some like there's a cookies and cream shake. That thing is
Should have wore my Pirates hat.
yeah,
And if I
yeah.
didn't choose that.
That's really good right there, man. What a commercial! I'm so happy I never saw that. That was really good.
I'm surprised. I just stumbled upon it, and yeah, it was just amazing to watch.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Anything else before head out?
I think, man, the Mets stink. David Peterson is traded.
We
I'll mention. I could touch. I'll just say that. I guess David Peterson got traded to the Cubs,
No, but we totally forgot about the elephant in the room.
and of course, Carlos Mendoza also was fired.
Holy
yeah.
shit! I totally that scaled over my head. I'm surprised you didn't bring it up to me.
I did even put that in because it's at this point it was like it was
They're-
gone in my mind. I really could have like
They're on a losing streak, right? So
yeah, they still don't win baseball games. They did beat the Phillies, so that was they won for one game where they actually hit. Where Lindor and Soto were both in the lineup, and then Lindor didn't play last game and they lost. Yeah, Mendoza's out. Mendoza got fired. He's a scapegoat. Not his fault.
That's not his fault. It's totally unlucky. Yeah.
Someone had to get fired.
For something that you didn't do, you didn't bring these guys on as the main person to make the decisions, and also the people didn't perform. So
Yeah, maybe there's something to be said about the organization of the players. Maybe there were games where it just felt like pitchers were just dominating us, and maybe that is more on the players than game planning that the staff can do, and Mendoza has something to do with it. But when you have 6 errors in a game off of guys that don't make errors, like I'm looking at you, Marcus Simeon, even Francisco Lindor, I don't maybe some of that falls on the manager on not being this presence and this guy who is supposed to keep everyone in line. There were some really silly base running errors throughout earlier in the year too. So I think a lot of it you can kind of feel oh, there were some manager issues. I actually felt like he was pretty good with the bullpen this season. It felt like we had to use the bullpen a lot, and it never felt like the bullpen was taxed. We had that issue a lot last year, but this season wasn't too much. So yeah, I think Mendoza had to be a scapegoat, and season's over.
yeah,
Pretty much.
gotcha.
That's my summary.
Thank you very much. We could have talked more. I both totally forgot. But then that's near there. But this has been Baseball Enthusiast. I'm Evan. That's Billy, and see you guys next time.
See ya.